Hey everyone, okay, really quickly. I've got a second channel now, so I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe. I'm posting videos there every single day, lots and lots and lots of reviews. I'm going to do vlogs and all the other nonsense that goes with second channels. Information is in the description bar with the link to the second channel and along with Twitter and all the other things. So I'd appreciate it if you could subscribe to that, and on with the tutorial. Thank you, bye-bye. Hey everyone, okay, so today is going to be an instructional video on a step-by-step process of applying eyeshadow. Very, very similar to the method that I would kind of teach, but there's a few different kind of twists here. So the first thing I'm going to do is just apply some primer to my eyelid, and remember that this is instructional as opposed to me just trying to make myself look pretty. So I'm applying primer to the eyelid. The main reason that I apply primer is not really just to make sure that the eyeshadow stays put, which is good, but it's to take out any discoloration in the eyelid, but also because eyeshadows go on with a much stronger colour. They actually look the colour they really are in the pan when they're on the eye. And I'm using lime crime primer here. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do is we need to highlight the eye. Now, if you have an eye like mine, or any eye where you can see the eyelid in its entirety, so when my eye is open, you can see my eyelid. If you can see your eyelid, you want to highlight this area from the inner corner right the way to the outer corner. If you have a hooded eye, which means that this crease here comes down and covers, say, let's say it covers a third of this, then you would only apply highlight to the eyelid that you see. Only apply highlight to the actual eyelid that you can see with your eye open. Because if you apply a highlight to a hooded eye that's, you know, with all this skin kind of hanging down, you are drawing attention to that area, and obviously that's not something that we want to do. So I'm going to just apply a really light shimmery shade to the eyelid. Take it all the way into the inner corner and all the way to the outer corner unless it's hooded, and then just take the shade wherever you see eyelid, apply the shimmer colour. And on some people that may just be right here on the tear duct. If that's the case, don't worry about it. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is apply shimmer to the brow bone area. Now you need to bear in mind that I've darkened this eyebrow ever so slightly and extended the taillight ever so slightly. The end of your eyebrow is the point where eyeshadow will not come any further. It will not come any further down or out. So here is the tail of my eyebrow, as you can see. I'm going to apply a wash of shimmer from the outside corner of the tail right the way up. And because I'm using kind of really shiny shades, it's so you can see where I've put it. We don't blend anything at the moment, we just leave it exactly as is. But remember that it doesn't come any further out than the end of your eyebrow, so you can see it here. And obviously don't be mental with it. You don't want to be drawing your eyebrows all the way down here. So the next thing that we do is we apply a crease colour into the crease of the eye. Now, even on a stronger smoky eye, like say I'm going to do a purple smoky eye or a blue, I will oftentimes put a mid-tone colour in. And what that means is it's a colour that is slightly deeper than your own skin tone. So it starts to define and sculpt the crease. Because remember, the whole point of eyeshadow is to create shadows and light. So your mid-tone colour will be a colour that is a couple of shades darker than your crease. The darker you go, the more dramatic you will go. So I'm going to use something like Blondie by Bobbi Brown, and you want to apply it with a crease brush. You just want to get the colour in the socket of the eye, don't blend it. Another thing to think about before we put colour in is if your eye is hooded, then you apply it into the socket of the eye, but you also apply it over any areas or folds of skin. So if you have a hooded eye and it's covering the most of your eye, you bring this mid-tone colour all the way across your eyelid and all the way up into the crease as well. So I don't have one, so I'm going to start it from the outside corner of the eye where that highlight streak is in the end of my eyebrow, and I'm just going to apply this colour into the crease of the eye. We're not going to blend with this brush, so we just want to get the colour in the eye. And you can see that I'm bringing it right the way in to the bridge of the nose. So there you go, you can see that both of them are meeting the outside corner. So now comes the fun bit. Now we blend. We blend with a completely different brush to the brush that we use to put the colour on, because if we blend with that brush, it gets muddy and oftentimes too dark. So MAC 217 brush, And the first thing I'm going to do is just go back through the crease and this is a clean brush, and all I'm doing is just blending and softening the colour. So just blend through it. And I always put my finger here to just stabilise the skin. I have no idea why, I just like it. The next thing we do is we blend this highlight shade into that mid-tone. So take that brush and blend it down into that mid-tone colour. Just go back and forth over it until you're happy with the desired effect. So you can see it's a lot more subtle. So the next shade that we want now is our contour shade. This is the darkest of all the shades, and this goes on the outer corner of the eye, about a third of the way in for a normal standard eye. Now if you have a hooded eye, you can bring the colour up as well, much higher onto the kind of hooded part where this mid-tone section is. Otherwise, if you've got a very deep set eye right back into your head, they go way back, so you've got very big eyes, they tend to go back, then you kind of want to just apply a tiny bit to the outside corner of the eye, because with a deep set eye that goes back into the head, if you darken it too much, it can look like your eyes are going right the way back, and it can look a bit scary. So I'm going to take a brown, and this is Chocolate by Bobbi Brown. I'm using a MAC 212 brush, and I'm just going to pop the colour on that outside portion of the eyelid, just that portion, and we do not blend with this brush. There you go, see? I don't care how it looks because I'll blend it in a second. Just get it on to the outer corner of the eyelid. What we do is take our same clean, well, the one we've used to blend out these highlights and contours, 217 brush. We take the brush and we blend out that darker outer corner onto the eyelid first. Always do the eyelid first, and you want to bring it in about a third of the way in, because we can always re-highlight the eye again. So you just want to distribute that colour across the eyelid. So you can see it's more diffused now. Now what we want to do is also take that colour up slightly into the crease, and this is great with the 217 because you can actually get into the crease with it and blend the colour in. So just blend it into the crease colour as well. Okay, so next we are going to use our pencil. I'm using a black kohl pencil, and we're just going to draw underneath the eye from the outside corner inwards. And don't make it too thick, and I like to bring it in just past the pupil. And the reason I like to do the lower eyelid first is because it helps to wing it out shortly. I'm just going to use a brush now to kind of smooth, let me get up so you can see what I'm doing, smooth the edge in. And also extend it out ever so slightly at the corner. So you can see that I'm just extending that liner out slightly. Now I'm going to take the same kohl pencil, and in a diagonal I'm going across the upper part of the lash line here, and again I'm bleeding out into the lash line at around about pupil level. I'm now going to apply Coffee Pencil by MAC, which is a brown, into the inner rim of the eye because that's what the picture's called for. If you have really small eyes, then kohl lining them can have the effect of shrinking them, but at the same time it also has the effect of making them stand out, so you can kind of pick and choose what you want to do. You can leave it if you want. But I really like Coffee Pencil, I think it looks great. I'm just going to go back in on this kind of tear duct area here, because I just want to highlight just this inner corner, because it really looks very, very pretty and striking when the inner corner of the eye is the lightest, because it draws attention to this area, and even if you've got a really hooded eye, your eyes are still now drawn to here and they wouldn't be drawn to this bit that's coming down. If you find that your kohl pencils come off on your eye very easily, that they melt down very easily, you can use a gel eyeliner. Bobbi Brown do one, Smashbox do one, best one is Makeup Atelier Paris. They are waterproof, and once they hit, especially the Makeup Atelier Paris one, once it hits the inner corner and it's safe to use in the waterline, it's like glue, it just stays there. So all we're going to do is curl the lashes, put some mascara on, and we can kind of see a more finished effect. Okay, so there's one other thing that we can do to make the eyes look even more beautiful. If you don't have lots of long lashes, I don't have long lashes. If you do, that's great, but it's apply some fake lashes. I'm going to be applying a set here. This is by Velour lashes and they're called Complete Me. It's my absolute all-time favorite lashes. So I'm going to use this applicator, which is by Uemura, to apply them. So I'm going to do my best to show you how to do it, but chances are I'm going to lean in and you may sort of miss something. So all you do with this applicator is you get the lash right here in the band, like that, and you look into a mirror, and you place it at the lash line and kind of let go, and then you take the inner corner and you connect it into the inner side. When the lashes are on, what you want to do is then take the tweezer or the applicator and go over the lash and under your real ones and then press down lightly. And what this does is it molds the lashes and your lashes into the fake ones. Okay, and that is complete, and that is how you do eyeshadow step by step. So I hope you like it, and you can see the colors, it's all blended and molded into one, and when you look straight on, the highlight isn't that prominent, but when you turn your head and tilt it, you can really see the highlight. And that is how you do step by step eyeshadow. So I hope you found it interesting and useful and helped you learn something, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.